There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz.jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
In Makati Medical Center, your well-being does not stop. We promote a healthy normal by complying with 100% safety protocols in our facilities. With world-class service and operational excellence, we ensure that Makati Med meets the global healthcare standards of JCI. No matter the nature of your visit, your health is our priority. So you are always safe in Makati Med, the hospital with a heart.
Intelligence is the foundation of any good business. But if every good business has it, how do you stand out? Intuition. When enabled by technology, intuition stops feeling like a hunch and starts looking like confidence. The confidence you get when you work with Cognizant, where we engineer every aspect of your business, technology, processes, and experiences to anticipate expectations and act instantly. This is intuition, and we can engineer it.
In this constantly changing world where businesses move at a rapid pace, Ancheta solves the toughest challenges in any industry through human expertise and the power of technology. We are a community that thrives on a culture of collaboration, ideation, and innovation. And we want you to be part of our family. Your journey towards a meaningful and thriving career begins with us. Be part of the Inno community. We are Ancheta.
All right, so good morning, everyone. Welcome to Jobs180.com's 2023 pre-employment webinar together with Siquijor State College.
Today, we will be joined by speakers from Jobs180.com, Cognizant, and Accenture. And there's no better way to start off this program than with a prayer. So may we invite everybody for the opening prayer, followed by the singing of the national anthem.
Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below. Praise Him above, ye heavenly hosts. Praise Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
All right, so again, welcome everyone. Kamusta po kayo? So I hope everyone is doing well and okay today. So by the way, my name is Joyce and here with me today is Mr. EJ Konanan, my host partner for today. And we are from Jobs180.com and we will be your host for today's session. And we are live via Jobs180 Facebook and Jobs180 YouTube page. So we hope that everyone is looking forward to learning something new today.
So, hi, to officially start today's session, may we invite the Director for External Affairs and International Linkages, Mrs. Sid A. Sarmiento, to give us the opening remarks.
Pleasant morning to each and everyone. Finding a job can be a daunting process. That is why today we are here to provide some guidance and tips that will help you get ready for the job hunt. Though you will still be in your OJT training, treat this OJT as your job because surely it will expose you to the real world of work. During this webinar, topics on how to prepare your resume and cover letter, how to present yourself in an interview online and in person, and other valuable tips will be discussed by our speakers that will help you get your dream job. Our esteemed guest speakers possess extensive experience and knowledge in the recruitment industry, and they are here to share their insights and, of course, their journey so you will have more confidence and clarity in your professional journey. We will ensure that you will have an ample time to raise your questions later. So with this, I would like to welcome you all to this webinar theme as getting ready for job applications. Good morning once again, and God bless us all.
Ayan. Thank you, Miss Sid, for gracing the event with your opening remarks. And thank you as well for trusting Jobs 180 in powering your event. So we look forward for more collaborations and events pa with SSC. So as usual, for our audience today, please comment your name, year, and course. And if you have any questions later on, please type them in the chat box so we can answer them after the talk. So Q&A will happen after each speaker's presentation. Don't forget to tag and share this to your friends too. So kung wala pa sila dito, tawagin nyo na. Nakakapanghinayang naman if mamimiss nila to. Also, the eval will be released at the end of this session and will serve as your attendance also for today's session.
All right, so that's correct. So again, we will be releasing the eval later, and it will serve as your attendance for today's session. So please watch out kung kung saan ipapakita yung eval na yan para at least secure niyo yung attendance for today's session. So if you guys are ready, here is our schedule for today. So we have 3 topics for today's session. So first, we have job applications using ResumeLink, which will be discussed by jobs180.com. Next is virtual interviews by Cognizant and how companies hire for work from home jobs by Accenture. So, again, sa mga nandito na, partner.
Ayan. At sa mga nandito na, at sa mga kadating pa lang, syempre, isang napakalaking very big shoutouts to you, okay? Again, please comment your name, year, and course para makilala naman natin yung mga audience natin, mga nagagandahan and nagagapuhan. And as we go along, you can type in your question so we can read it later. Don't be shy, okay? Comment lang kayo ng comment because this is your chance to ask and know more before you face the world of work. So to our audiences, just sit back, relax, and let us just #learn together. So are you ready? Are you ready? I hope you're all ready. So to start off, let us meet our first speaker. Presenting our first topic, job applications using ResumeLink. He has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service, operations, business process, and human resources. As a trusted resource speaker, he has done over 1,000 plus career development seminars in more than 400 plus colleges and universities nationwide. The managing director of jobs180.com, a man with 1,000 smiles. Let us all welcome Mr. Kim Chua. Sir Kim, good morning po. And the floor is
Good day to all of you. My name is Kim Chua. Don't forget the wa, baka Kim Chu lang maalala nyo. And I'm here to share to you about the most secure tool for job application. This is how you can market yourself more effectively and the different ways to do that. Okay, so let me start. Now, when you apply, you probably have a checklist if you're using the right tool. So just go along with me if you have the right, if you have the same checklist that I have. So ito yung mga things na like kong tinatandaan, no? Will my tool or will the thing that I'll be using help me to stand out? That's the first item that is very important for me. Kailangan mag-stand out ako kasi dami-dami kong kasabayan kalaban sa pag-apply. Another thing in my checklist is that, do I have more than one file? Because oftentimes I have a lot of files. May academic records, may mga government IDs, ang dami mga kailangan hingiin ng mga companies. So I'd like to put them all in one file. And this tool helps me to do that. Okay? Another thing that this tool can do is that it allows me to make the process more efficient. Mas napapabilis yung pag-apply. No? Hindi na napapatagal yung pabalik-balik. So mas mabilis din syempre tayo maka-move forward. Diba? And another thing that this tool can do is that wala tong bayad. Mukha lang akong salesman pero libre po ito. Okay? So this tool is absolutely for free. The most important in my checklist is that this tool, okay, makes my information secured. And I think this is the most important question. Do you want your information to be secured? I hope your answer is yes. Okay? And so with that, let me show you ano tong tool na ito. This tool is called ResumeLink. ResumeLink, by definition, is the most secured tool for job application. Okay, this is a personalized URL. It is a link that anyone can open online anytime, provided that they know the link. So let me use an example. If you are John Santos, just in case lang, your name is John Santos, your resume link would look something like johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. So how do you make one? Okay, how do you make one? Now, the first step is for you to register. This is absolutely for free. Wala itong bayad. Okay? So what do? You go to www.jobs180.com, and that is where you now register. Okay? As you register, you just simply fill out the information. These are the basic information. You have the account details, you have your personal information, you have your education background, and just in case you have your work experience, whether it's OJT or it's part-time job or whatever yung work experience na yan, then you proceed to that work experience page. Pero pag wala, hanggang dyan na lang tayo sa my education information. Okay? After doing so, you now start to create your resume link. So ano ba ang basihan ng resume link? Kadalasan, ang resume link natin, we base it on our name. We base it on our unique name. Okay, so as an example, if you're John Santos, then you say johnsantos.jobs180.com. Now, what about during scenarios where you create your resume link tapos may nauna sa inyo? May ibang John Santos, may kapangalan ka, no, nauna sa inyo. Ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon na red na box, sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Na okay, malungkot pag taken na. Okay lang, maging creative lang kayo ng konti. Pwede mo balik na rin. Pwede mo sabihin Santos John. Okay, you can also say Santos J, o kaya J Santos, o kaya JS, di ba? Or SJ. Depende sa link na gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapareho kahit kayo may kapangalan. Now, another thing I'd like to emphasize here, wag po kayong OA. Pag gumawa kayo ng resume link, huwag mo gagawin tipong nakalagay, cutie pie, lover boy, Barbie doll, di ba? Because it doesn't sound professional. Imagine going to a company and the HR will ask you, do you have a resume? Tapos sasabihin mo sa kanya, meron po, ang resume ko ay eljablo.jobs180.com. Di ba? Baka matakot yung HR sa inyo. So I don't recommend that you do something like that. Just stick to your name. Whatever your name is, it will sound professional. Okay? Now, in creating a resume link, you have to use a valid email. Emails like Yahoo, Gmail, Rocketmail, any email, basta nabubuksan nyo, wag na wag ka lang gagamit ng facebook.com na email. Okay? Do not use something like, example lang patrick@facebook.com na email. Do not use patricia@facebook.com na email. Okay? In short, do not use @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com, you will no longer be able to receive notifications being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Okay? So use something that you can open. Why is it important for you to open your email? Because you have to verify your account. Okay? Remember, pag nag-verify, yan ang ebidensya na ikaw nag-register talaga. Yan ang proof. Diba? And at the same time, if you verify your account, then you'll be receiving companies as well as Jobs180. If you do not verify your account, hindi nyo na po marireceive yung mga notification ng mga companies. So, sayang naman. Diba? Might as well verify your account first. Okay? Now, you're done with the first step after you verify. So, ano na ang second step? Ang second step is the most logical of all the steps. You have to complete all the information. Very logical. Sino sa inyo mag-apply sa mga kumpanya, bungi-bungi detalye? Sino sa inyo mag-resume sa mga HR tapos kulang-kulang details nyo? I don't think you'll do that because you're just wasting your time. Instead, kumpletuhin yung information nyo bago kayo mag-submit dun sa mga companies. Okay? So, step 2, complete the information. And how do you do that? Punta kayo ulit dun sa website, www.jobs180.com, and this time, you don't need to register again kasi may account ka na eh. What you need to do is you have to log in. Okay? Now, as you log in, you start to put your registered email or your resume link and then your password. Na ikaw lang may alam. Okay? Ganun lang siya kasimple. Now, once you're inside your account, you start to fill in the blanks. Ganun lang kasimple. Fill in the blanks. So, the things that you see here, yung mga contents, napakasimple lang. Yung mga personal details nyo, lagay mo dyan. Diba? All the information na sa tingin nyo relevant, you put it there. Now, I have some emphasis lang on items na madalas na may-miss out ito ng mga aplikante. Ano yung mga yon? Sa contact information, you have to put here all the possible ways na pwede kang makontak ng isang HR. Kagaya ng social media handles nyo. Ba't ko nasabi yan? Because in reality is, pag tinatawagan kayo ng mga HR, madalas hindi naman ina-answer eh. Lalo na pag hindi nyo kilala, pag nag-ring yung phone nyo, hala, sino kaya ito? Di ba, hindi mo kilala. Ano gagawin? Hahayaan mo na lang. Di ba? Antayin mo kung may mag-message sa inyo. Eh, paano kung yung HR hindi naman masipag hindi masipag mag-message? Masipag lang siya magtawag. That's why I recommend you put here all the possible means na pwede kang makontak. Kagaya ng social media nyo. Put your Facebook there, yung mga messenger nyo, mga Twitter nyo, iba pang mga paraan, social media handles, para mabilis kayo ma-reach out. Diba? Message na lang. Are you available Thursday, 10 a.m., so on and so forth. You get what I'm saying? Diba? So lahat ng paraan, lagay mo dyan. What else do you put here? You also put here yung inyong mga work options. Sa work options naman, you just choose lang, parang yes or no lang yan, parang, no? Kung ano yung mga options na gusto ninyo. No, willing to work night shift, willing to relocate, looking for OJT, you can also put it here. Okay? And then in terms of education, obvious naman, yung alma mater nyo, lagay nyo dito. Diba? Yung mga pampakapal ng resume, sa seminars attended, kahit magkopyahan pa kayo ng mga classmates mo, okay lang. Basta lang make sure, alam nyo na pag-usapan doon sa seminar na yon. Pagdating sa certification, ganun din yan. Walang limit sa space yan. Achievements, recommend ko dito is you don't only put yung mga achievement nyo inside the school. Okay? Kasi hindi naman lahat tayo academically inclined. Some of us are not very active sa school, pero active tayo sa mga social civic organization. Diba? So, even if it's outside of the school, you can also put it there. As long as you think it is an achievement, you put it there. Okay? Now, in terms of skills and languages, isa-isahin ko lang yan ha. Sa skills, do not limit your skills dyan lang sa course nyo. Hindi perkat education ng course mo, ang ibig sabihin, ang skills na alam mo lang ay magturo. Hindi perkat accounting ang course mo, ang alam mo lang gawin or ang skills mo ay mag-debit, credit at mag-balance sheet. Diba? So, marami kang alam na iba pa mga skills na kahit walang connect sa course, you can also put it here. Sample, photography, diba? Videography, diba? And all the other things, calligraphy, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? When it comes to languages, I'm sure alam nyo, dalawang lengguwahe na at the minimum. You know English and you know Filipino. If you know local dialect, to be specific, lagi mo Tagalog, Chabacano, Bisaya, Kapampangan, 'di ba? Ilonggo, wala naman limit sa space eh. 'Di ba? If you know foreign languages, put it there. Chinese, Japanese, French, Vietnamese, kung ano man 'yan, ilagay nyo. Because what you're doing is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to the prospective company. Now, when it comes to references, sigurado naman ako yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang tanong lang dyan, kayo ba kilala nila? Kasi madalas pag tinatawagan namin yung mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. Yung pinakamalupit dyan, hindi talaga kayo kilala. Okay, so please advise yung mga references nyo na ginawa nyo silang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now, at this point, I'd like to highlight yung mga things that you don't find in a traditional resume. Ano yung mga yan? Diba? Ito yung mga yun. Let me start with the portfolio section. The portfolio section is where you now upload evidence of your skills. And I think with this day and age, dito pumapasok yung efficiency, no, ng ating application sa mga companies. Because oftentimes, when we apply to companies, marami mga hinihingi, mga pre-employment requirements. They will ask for mga documents, mga proof that is showing na yan talaga yung mga skills nyo. So, kung ano man meron yung mga documents, you can now take a picture, you can scan them, and you can upload it here. Example, government IDs. Diba? Meron ka mga transcripts, academic records. Diba? You can put that there. Okay? Kung meron mga medical clearance na kailangan, ganun din. Hindi na kailangan magpabalik-balik sa company. Oh, ayos ba? Oh, eto pa. Diba? But wait, there's more. Ito na yun. Itong isa pang gusto ko i-recommend sa inyo, yung tinatawag natin selfie video. Nowadays, I think, it is not very difficult to create a selfie video. Diba? May TikTok nga kayo eh. Diba? Alam mo naman paano gumawa ng selfie video. So I don't need to teach you how to create a selfie video. What I need to share to you na lang is yung anong kailangan sabihin pagka gumawa ka ng selfie video. Okay, this time, what I recommend, you say something interesting about yourself. Okay? So, you pretend that you're being interviewed by the HR. Diba? Ano yung mga tinatanong sa atin? Why should we hire you? Diba? Tell me something about yourself. Why should we consider you among all the other applicants? Ang kagandahan ngayon is you create that video for about 1 minute or less. Hindi kailangan sobrang haba, no? Mga 1 minute lang or less. Pero ang maganda rito is na-evaluate na nung HR yung inyong communication skills. If you can speak in English, then I recommend you speak in straight English. But if you cannot, it's okay as long as you're able to show your personality. You can also showcase here yung mga hard skills nyo. Ano yung mga hard skills? Kagaya ng mga video na panood ko dati, pinakita nila how to use a soldering iron, how to properly handle a welding machine, diba? How to fold table napkins. O, ganun, diba? So, depende ko ano yung mga skills na alam mo at depende ko ano yung nasa field mo rin, diba? Na napag-aralan, diba? So, gusto mo magpakita ka paano mag-balance sheet, pwede rin. O, diba? Again, it really depends on what you wanted to show dun sa HR. Ang point is, you don't need to travel back and forth para lang ipakita on the spot dun sa HR yung inyong hard skills. And most importantly, hindi na kailangan magkaroon ng maraming aberya, maraming storbo. Diba? Sometimes when we try to contact you for the phone interview, maingay yung background, hindi marinig. Diba? Mahina signal, maingay, ano nangyari, nasa biyahe. Diba? Or sometimes hindi magtugma yung schedule. At least with that selfie video, it makes the process now more efficient. Now, another good thing with the ResumeLink is that you also upload here your profile picture. When it comes to profile picture, you don't need to go to the studio para magpa-picture. Huwag ka na gumastos. Ang importante lang dyan, tumingin ka sa camera, okay, with plain background, at of course, magbihis ka naman ng maayos, diba? And then, you're good to go. Wag mo gagawin yung mga nasa right side ng screen niyo. Those samples that I'm showing you, it doesn't look professional. Imagine, di ba, yung mga selfie, mga nilagay ng avatar, yan, hindi yan, wag nyo gawin yan. Okay? Wag nyo gawin yan. It doesn't look nice, doesn't look professional. Okay? Now, another good thing pa with the resume link is that meron tayong tinatawag na cover photo. Ayan, pasintabi sa matatamaan. May iba sa inyo nakikinig ngayon, hindi naman kayo gifted with writing skills. Some of us are having a difficult time expressing our thoughts and feelings into words. So ano pwede mo gawin? You can now use those pictures to represent your personality or to showcase yung inyong skills. Example, look at the one on the left, yung nasa baba. Ano kaya siya? Sabi ni iba, sir, ophthalmologist, optometrist, or eye expert. Yung nasa kanan, yung nasa taas, ano kaya siya? Sabi ni iba, sir, para siyang admin or clerical work. Or maybe makalat kasi tingnan mo yung lamesa ang kalat-kalat. O, di ba? Again, it depends on the interpretation person looking at it. This is an example of someone into HR or maybe into psychology. And this one is an example, it's a very good example by the way, of someone who wanted to say that there is no shortcut to success. Hindi po yan miyembro na Akit Bahay Gang. Okay? Ang gusto niya sabihin, you will be able to reach yung goal mo by taking one step at a time. Oh, di ba? You get what I'm saying now. So I'm showing you good examples para you can draw inspiration from. And I will also show you not so good examples. Ito yung wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayong magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Maglagay ka ng picture mo dyan. Lalaki man, babae in between, okay lang. Ilagay mo dyan. Member man tayo ng LGBTQ+, okay lang. You put it there. At least alam ng HR who to expect. A lot of times, yung mga pangalan kasi very interchangeable nowadays. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think, babae ako. Di ba? Pag iba nababasa kong mga resume, ano nakalagay sa resume nila? Chris. Nakalagay George, Alex, Sam, Nick. O, diba? Joey. I would assume lalaki. Yun pala, babae. O, diba? So that's why you better make sure you put your picture there. And wag naman pugot yung ulo nyo pag nilagay ng picture. Dapat kompleto. Okay? Never leave this blank because if you leave this blank, it will not catch the HR's attention. Trust me. Kung ikaw ang HR, wala ka namang ibang makita dyan, malamang mangyayari dito, next applicant na. Okay? And then if you want to catch the HR's attention, do not create something like this. This is just my opinion. I don't think this looks professional kasi ang dating parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, no? Parang chill-chill, walang pakialam sa buhay. Again, that is just my interpretation. Okay? So I showed you the good and not so good examples para you'll be guided. Now you can just play along later on kung anong sa tingin nyo mas bagay sa inyong background or sa inyong sa gusto niyo ipakita sa personality niyo. Okay? Now let's examine a very good example. Look at this person, itong eye expert. Bakit maganda itong example ng kanyang resume link? Because all the information you're seeing here, kompleto na. 'Di ba? Hindi ka na magpabalik-balik eh. Kung ikaw yung HR, everything that you need to ask or you want to know about the applicant, you already find it here. If you're the applicant, you might as well put everything there para wag mo na antayin pa yung time na hihingiin pa sa ng HR yung mga documents yan. Baka hindi na mangyari yun. Baka may ibang aplikante na mas assertive, nilagay lahat ng mga information na i-process na siya kaagad. Diba? Now, at this point, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, sir, okay nga tong resume link. Kaso lang, baka naman yung information ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman nakalantad na sa buong internet. Ang sagot, hindi. Kaya nga tinawag na the most secure tool for your job application. Diba? Bakit? Because you control your privacy settings. Ikaw mismo, as an account user or as a resume link owner, ikaw ang may control ng privacy settings mo. And how will that happen? When you log into your dashboard, as you can see in my screen, when you log into your dashboard, you will find the resume link settings. Pagpunta mo sa settings, mapuntahan mo yung privacy settings at dun ka mamili ngayon ng information you want to show or hide in public. So let me use an example. If you don't want to show your birthday, what do? You turn it off. You don't want to show your references, you turn it off. You don't want to show your address, what do? Turn it off. Diba? So yung mga information na in-off mo, hindi lalabas sa public. Now, if ever lang you decide to change your mind, ang maganda dito sa yan, real time. As in real time. So 5 minutes later, you want to show your birthday, turn it on. What happens? Lahat ng mayroong alam ng resume link mo, alam na niya yung birthday mo. Diba? If 2 days later, you want to show your address, you turn it on, you save your profile, lahat ng may alam ng resume link mo, alam na rin yung inyong address. You get what I'm saying? Diba? So, depende na sa inyo kung ano gusto mo yung on or off. If you want to turn off everything, then okay lang. You can just turn off the button. Enable public resume link, off. Wala nang lalabas sa public. Kahit na anong information. Okay? So, yan ang re-remind ko sa inyo. This, the second step is for you to complete the information. And in doing so, please make sure that your profile is interesting, diba? Yung information mo kompleto at updated ang details nyo para mabilis kayo makontak ng mga HR. Now, we go to the last step. Pangatlo na, last step na to. The last step is for you to submit. Now, how will you submit your resume link to those companies? You might be thinking you want to explore opportunities outside of the Philippines. Maybe you want to join some job fairs later on. You want to apply online. You want to, marami, walk-ins, di ba? Depende kung ano, kasi bumabalik na yung face-to-face ngayon. So, lahat ng mga ipapakita ko sa inyo, lahat ito, practical application. Lahat yan, makaka-relate kayo. Ano yung first one? The first one is you go online. Of course. Diba? Yun ang fastest way. You just connect via your phone, via kung ano man gadget mo, go to jobs180.com, search for companies. And by the way, speaking of search, you can only search for company, tatlo lang pwede mo i-search ha. Search for company name, position title, and location. Doon sa search bar, hindi mo pwede ma-search ang resume link. So example lang, ikaw si John Santos, okay? O kaya ikaw si, ako na lang, Kim, halimbawa lang, subukan mo pumunta sa jobs180.com, doon sa search bar, type mo doon, Kim. Tingnan mo kung may lumabas. Malamang sa malamang, walang lalabas. Unless may company name, position title, or location na may word na Kim. Other than that, walang lalabas dyan. Kasi hindi siya searchable. So, the only time a company would be able to know your information is if and when you give your exact resume link to that company. So, ikaw may control. Ayos? So tuloy natin. Okay, tuloy natin. So if you're going to search for companies, what do? Just go to the website of jobs180.com, search for companies. Kung may lumabas, edi meron. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Diba? Ganun lang yan. Huwag natin pilitin magkaroon ng something kung wala talaga. Diba? Okay, so anong gagawin? Tingnan mo yung mga companies. Kung meron kang type, edi gawin nyo, check nyo yung opportunities. After that, you now submit your information to that company. Okay, when you submit your information to the company, it will ask for your profile, for your resume link and password. So ikaw lang magbibigay ng consent dun sa company. Okay? Now another option is for you to send resumes via email. Now there's nothing wrong in sending resumes through email. Ang tanong dito is, how are you sending your resumes through email? Do you do it like this? Do you say, "Dear HR manager, I'd like to apply for the following position. This is my resume." Tapos mag-attach ka ng Word file, PDF file, or whatever file you have. If you're doing those attachments pa, ang tawag dyan, traditional, pampabagal, makaluma. Hindi ko sinabing mali. Ang sabi ko lang, traditional, pampabagal, makaluma. Bakit? Hindi mo kailangan mag-attach anything anymore. If you're going to write an email and send your resume, just simply type your resume link there. "Dear HR manager, I would like to apply for the following position. This is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, jobs180.com, send. Tapos na. Ganun lang kabilis. Diba? Whatever changes you need to do, you put it inside your resume link. You don't have to keep on sending another attachment. Paano kung imagine mo na lang, nag-attach ka ng Word file. Diba? Ng PDF file. Tapos nagpalit ka ng address, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Email mo na naman yung HR. "Dear HR manager, I'm sending you my updated resume." Ganun ba? Paano kung 2 months later, lumipat ka ng bahay, iba na address mo, send ka ulit ng bagong resume? "Dear HR manager, I'm sending you my updated, most recent resume." I don't think you'll do that. Kasi kung ganun ang ginagawa mo, sayang sa oras yan, nakakapagod sa part mo, lalong-lalo naman sa part ng HR, mas nakakapagod to keep track kung saan dyan yung pinaka-updated na attachment or pinaka-updated na resume ng aplikante. And this time around, if you have your resume link, all you need to do is just update your resume link at lahat na may alam ng resume link mo, makikita nila yung pinaka real-time update ng profile or information. Ayos ba? Ayos ba? Sige, another one. For those who wanted to use a hard copy, gusto mo talaga may hard copy ka when you apply to those companies, you want to give something, then this is also possible. What do? You go to your dashboard inside your job seeker account, then you can print your resume link. Mamili ka lang, 1 column or 2 column version. Either way, the system will try to compress everything into 1 page. O diba? Maginhawa sa buhay. So kung gusto mo talaga mag-apply sa mga kumpanya, hindi mo na kailangan mag-prepare ng maraming mga pages. Minsan, di ba, yung mga aplikante, mga 2-3 pages ang isang set ng resume. Palibasa, yung font size 45. Kaya umaabot ng 2-3 pages. O diba? Pero this time, the system will try to compress everything na into 1 page. Just in case you really want to have a hard copy. O diba? Tipid. Okay? Another thing pa for me to encourage you to do is you use resume link cards. Resume link cards. Ano tong resume link card? Kung sa mga nagtatrabaho na, tawag namin business card. Sa mga nag-a-apply, tawag. So in 1 piece of paper, whether short bond or long bond paper, you can now design it your own way. You can design it depende kung ano ang gusto mo, pagiging creativity mo. Ikaw bahala. You can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa laki or liit, 'di ba? Kasi laki ng index card or kasi liit lang ng mga normal business cards natin, 'di ba? So depende. So maybe in 1 long bond paper, you can make 10, 20 sets of cards na. And so after you have it printed out, pwede ka na ngayon maggupit-gupit. Gupit-gupit na lang. 'di ba? 10 or 20, bawat kumpanya, you can now start to give that as a hard copy. Hard copy pa rin naman yan eh. But this time, why am I encouraging you to use resume link cards instead of the traditional long bond or short bond paper? Bakit? Una-una, tipid. 'Di ba? Because of course, right now, eto, tipid. Kasi if you're going to apply to 20 companies, you don't need to print 20 sets of long bond papers. You just need to print one long bond paper and cut 20 small pieces of resume link cards. O, di ba? That's for the cost side. Tipid na. Pangalawa, at mas importante, security of information. Diba? You want to have peace of mind. Paano ko nasabi yan? Kapag ikaw yung nagbigay sa isang kumpanya ng long bond paper or short bond paper, example lang, no? It's a traditional resume. And for some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Okay? Nilipad ng hangin. Hindi mo kasalanan. Kasalanan ng hangin eh. Diba? May nakapulot na stranger. May nakapulot na stranger. All your information, alam na nung stranger. Tama? And you cannot deny it because you know what I'm saying is true. Diba? Hindi mo kilala pero alam niya yung buong details mo. Now, using your resume link card, same scenario. Nagbigay ka ng resume link card sa company, nilipad ng hangin ngayon. May na stranger na nakapulot, okay lang. Bakit? Kampante ka. Kasi yung resume link, ikaw may control ng privacy settings mo. That's why, in your resume link card, what I recommend, you just simply put your name and your resume link. Dalawa lang. That's it. If you want to put your mobile number, it's okay. It's up to you. You can put it there. Diba? Pero ang point ko is, resume link, pwede na siya makita ng mga HR or mga companies na bibigyan mo. Diba? So you have peace of mind now. Okay? So there's a lot of advantages using resume links. In fact, dun pa lang sa privacy portion, panalong-panalo ka na. Ikaw ang may control ng privacy settings mo real time. Pagdating sa speed of hire, it becomes faster and more efficient because whatever you want to show the HR, you just attach it there. Whatever the HR needs from you, they just ask from you. Diba? You take a picture, you scan them, upload it there, and later on, pag okay na, you now turn off yung privacy settings mo. Diba? Or you can remove them in the attachments. Diba? Cost efficient, definitely wala tong gastos, tipid. Diba? If you're thinking, ay sir, paano po yung internet, kailangan ng pang-load? Pwede ka maging resourceful. Connect lang tayo sa mga libreng wifi. O, diba? And then, pagdating sa flexibility, if you really want to have it printed out, yung inyong resume, you also have the option to print it out. Just like how I showed it to you, 1 column or 2 column version. Either way, it's really up to you. Pero ang point ko is, resume link na lahat yan. Okay? And you can use this to any platform, whatever platform you want to share it to. You want to share it sa mga messenger nyo, you want to share it sa email, sa Viber, sa text, di ba? Gusto mo, kaya ko bahala. Di ba? Gusto mo, sulat mo sa papel, tapos gawa ka ng airplane, palipad mo, di ba? May nakakuha, alam niya yung resume link mo. Ikaw bahala. Okay? Ikaw may control kung sino ang gusto mo bigyan. Okay? You don't have to use your USBs anymore. You don't have to save it sa hard drive. Baka mawala pa yung USB nyo. Delikado. Diba? Wag na. Baka kung ano pa makita ng mga nakakapulot ng mga USB na yan. Okay? So you don't need to worry about compatibility as well because this is compatible to any platform. If you're using Android, you're using Safari, kung ano magamit mo, pwede yan sa kahit anumang version. Okay? And so, just to promote lang, if you want to be part of our team, we're also hiring. Mismo sa jobs180.com, we're hiring for several opportunities, several vacancies yan. Check out na lang yung aming jobs180.com/jobs180 na page. Okay? And by the grace of God, shout out lang ako, right now we have more than 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide. From north all the way to the south of the Philippines. Thank you, Lord. O, diba? Ang kinalat namin, hindi lang virus. Biro lang. Kinalat namin resume link. Yan ang kinalat natin. So, a lot of schools now, including your alma mater, are now using the resume link. So, I hope it doesn't stop here. No? You become a blessing to others as well. If you have friends, you have yung mga relatives mo, na sa tingin mo kailangan nitong tool na ito, you can share it to them. Wala namang bayad eh. Libre naman yan. Okay? And so, as we close this portion, I'd like to discuss some of the frequently asked questions. Baka ito yung mga agam nyo or ito yung mga questions na gusto nyo tanungin. Sagutin ko na muna. Okay? Unang tanong, can I give my resume links to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. Basta alam nila eksaktong link mo at ikaw may control sino bibigyan mo nun. Ikaw lang ang magbibigay. Diba? So ikaw lang may alam sino binigyan mo. Okay? Now, second question. Is it the same as other job platform kagaya ng JobStreet, LinkedIn, or any other job site? The answer is no. May dalawang pagkakaiba. And let me use an example here. Let me do a shout out to JobStreet, no? Because I think you guys know what JobStreet is. So, shout out lang to them sa mga nasa JobStreet. If you're using JobStreet na resume, you can only apply to companies who are using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. Pero pag gamit mo yung resume link mo, pwede mo gamitin kahit na saan, kahit na kanino, kahit na anong platform. Diba? Basta alam ng HR yung eksaktong link mo at ikaw magbibigay nun. That's the first difference. Second difference, if you have already submitted your job street resume to an HR, you cannot change anything anymore. Well, you can on your end, but it will not be reflected on the HR. Hindi siya magiging real-time update. Comparing it to resume link ni Jobs 180, you can update it real-time. 2 days later, 5 minutes later, 6 weeks later, ikaw bahala, anytime nag-update ka ng information, lahat na in-update mo, dagdag bawas, will be reflected real-time across all na may alam ng resume link mo. Okay? So those are the two major differences. Now, pagdating sa pangatlong question, yan ang pinaka-simpleng tanong. Can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na job application platform. Okay? So, use your resume link. Number 4 question, I think is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? The answer is every time. Every time na meron kang babaguhin. Okay? Every time na meron kang babaguhin. Lalong-lalo na yung contact details mo. Kasi imagine, binago mo lahat. Binago mo yung work experience mo, nagkaroon ng awards, nagkaroon ng achievement, hindi ka naman makontakt ng HR. Wala rin, di ba? Sayang din. That's why you have to update yung contact details niya. Okay? And the last question is just a trivia. Trivia lang, palaisipan. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around 180 degrees. And in case you're wondering, no, you wanted to raise a concern, bakit hindi po 360? Kasi pag 360 degrees, you only go back to where you started. Ikot ka lang na ikot, wala kang pupuntahan. 'Di ba? Bumabalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. Oh, ha? Oh, 'di ba? Char lang 'yan. Okay? So, anyways, again, kung meron pa kayo ibang questions, just in case you have questions, okay, you may send those questions here through our website, www.jobs180.com. You can also email us or email me here sa info@jobs180.com. You can like us on Facebook, also on Twitter, Instagram, pati na rin sa TikTok. Okay, so check us out on all our social media platform. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chua. Don't forget the wa. Okay? Isang magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. Thank you.
All right, so thank you so much, Sir Kim, for discussing about ResumeLink. So again, good morning to our audience. So audiences, students from Siquijor State College, magandang umaga po. So if you have questions for regarding ResumeLink, you have questions for Sir Kim, please kindly post your questions on the comment section. Wag po kayong mahiyang magtanong. This is your chance to ask. Ayan, so sayang naman po yung opportunity to talk or interact with our speakers po for today's session. So if you have questions, so feel free to post your questions on the comment section and Sir Kim will gladly answer all your questions. Ayan. So while waiting for questions, Sir EJ here, Sir Kim, I think my question siyang ready for you. Sir EJ?
Yes. Yan, Sir Kim, ayan, for my, syempre may pinipare na po akong questions, no? Sir, question ko lang po, why is the resume link free?
Why is the resume link free? The reason is very simple. Kayong mga students, mga job seekers, naghanap nga sila ng trabaho, so they need assistance. Diba? So all the assistance that they can get, that is where we now come in to help them. Some of the students, naging estudyante rin tayo ng minsan, naging aplikante rin tayo ng minsan, at kung sakasakali magiging aplikante tayo, yung reason mo why you're applying is because you want to find opportunities and you need to get paid, di ba? You want to make a living. So, wag na natin dagdagan pa yung papabigat, no? Wala ka na nga, kumbaga nag-isip ka na nga pamasahe mo, nag-isip ka na nga pangkain mo, pati ba naman yung paggawa ng resume at paano mo i-market sarili mo, kailangan mo pang gastusin. Di wag na natin pahirapan yung buhay. Di ba? Wag na tayo dumagdag doon sa equation na yun. Doon lang tayo dumagdag sa makatulong tayo, hindi maging mas mapabigat tayo. Kaya kung sakali lang, di ba, may mga companies na nag-charge then with respect to other companies, then it's really, but that's not Jobs 180. Yun lang gusto ko sabihin doon. Yan, si Jobs 180, absolutely, wala pong bayad. Yan, libre. Wala po itong bayad. Okay? Ayun. I hope nasagot ko, Sir EJ, yung tanong mo. Simple yung tanong mo.
Yes po, sir. Actually, very helpful po talaga to, lalo na sa mga hindi pa nakapagtrabaho, yun nga. And very into, into job seekers talaga tong platform na to, yung resume link ni Jobs 180. And for my next question, again, if may questions pala kayo, audiences that are watching, just type them down no, sa comment section. So I'll just be asking this muna while you type it down. Um, Question is, should I update my resume link even if I am employed?
Okay. Ang para sa akin, oo. Even if you are already currently employed, happily working, feeling mo hanggang mag-retire ka, ito na talaga yung trabaho mo. Dito ka na sa kumpanyang to, no? Para sa akin, you still update your resume link for the following reasons. Ito yung sa akin na practical reason lang. Una, you always want to have parang a way to communicate, parang a way to have a better kumbaga sa ganito, you always want to keep your options open. Yan, ganun na lang. I'll put it that way. You want to keep your options open even if you're happily working, you are, you're good with what you're doing, hindi ka naman nag-iisip mag-explore ng ibang kumpanya, but there might be some opportunities that will add or complement to what you're currently doing. Di ba? So, ito yung mga bagay, lalo na yung contact details, no? I-update mo yan. Kung meron ka mga certain awards or achievements or baka naman naging employee of the year ka na several times, di ba? Kaya nga hindi ka naaalis kasi love na love ka na ng kumpanya mo dyan, di ba? So, ano gagawin mo? You put it there. These are your achievements and people will see that as long as they know your exact link. If they don't know naman your resume link mo, then they won't even, di ba, be aware of whatever is happening dun sa career mo. So para sa akin, simpleng sagot lang yun sa tanong mo, Sir EJ. Update mo pa rin yan, di ba? Lalo na yung contact details para you keep your options open. Ano lang siya. Di ba? Yun. Not because you're updating kasi naghahanap ka ng trabaho. Di ba? Lalo na siguro kung naghahanap ka ng trabaho, lalo na dapat i-update mo talaga yung information mo sa resume. Okay? Yan.
Okay. Ayan. Nasagot din po yung question ko, sir. Thank you so much po. Ayan. Guys, if you have any questions, ayan.
Okay, mahiya magtanong.
Don't be shy. Again, don't be shy. This is your chance. This is your chance na para before kayo pumunta talaga sa world of work, at least may idea na kayo kung ano yung haharapin nyo. No?
Minsan nagtanong sa akin yung
Okay,
isang
just comment
estudyante.
them, ha?
No, nung share ko lang din. Ako na tatanong, ako na nasagot, no? Kasi may nagtanong sa akin isang estudyante dati, sabi niya, or isang job seeker, pwede ba akong mag-apply sa mga trabaho na wala naman dito sa area namin or malayo sa area namin? Kung saan man yung area. Like in this case, if you're from Siquijor and you're thinking, can I apply in Cebu? Can I apply in other parts of the Philippines or any other parts of the world? The answer is definitely yes. Diba? You don't restrict yourself dun lang sa area mo. Kaya nga magandang technology ngayon dahil nararating mo na pwede kang magkaroon ng trabaho even if it's outside of your area, di ba? Pwede tayo may mga trabaho na work from home. Mamaya isa sa mga speakers na invite natin, we'll be talking about that topic. So you can internet really is I think a big phenomenon, di ba? Talagang ano siya more options for you. Yun lang para sa akin. You don't want to limit yourself. Nandyan lang, no, na pwede ka pa rin naman kahit yung trabaho mo dyan lang sa kabilang kanto nyo, tapos work from home pa rin. O pwede pa rin naman di ba? Ayun. So I always remind the students or the job seekers na pwede po kayo mag-apply kahit na wala po itong connect dun sa course nyo, wala po itong connect dun sa pinag-aralan ninyo. As long as you know that skill, you have the skills, then you explore. Di ba? Bigyan ka ng example. May nagtanong sa akin dati isang graduating student, sabi niya, "Sir, ano po ako education po ako." Sabi niya, graduate ako ng education. Dapat po ba sa schools na ako mag-apply? Dapat ba maging trabaho ko? Mag-teacher lang ako. Sorry, I'm not saying teacher lang Magti-teacher po ako. Yan po ba yung dapat na maging trabaho ko? Sabi niya. Sabi ko, ideally, yes. Kasi yan nga yung course na inaral mo. Siyempre, you want to practice that. Pero hindi naman yan ang pwede mo lang maging trabaho. You can also apply if you have other skills. Sabi ko sa kanya, may alam ka ba sa ibang mga bagay? Ano bang hilig mo? Sabi niya sa akin, mahilig po ako mag-design, graphic design, sabi niya. Sabi ko, kung mahilig ka mag-graphic design, mag-apply ka sa IT. Diba? Even if you're in engineering, you are, kahit ano pa yan, pharma graduate ka, diba? Or pharma tuloy. Kung ano man, no? Nasa medical field ka, pero yung interest mo nasa ibang field, ibang industry, then yes, you just explore. Diba? Yun po. Mamaya, may isa tayong invite na speaker din. Magugulat kayo pag nabasa niyo background niya at kung saan siya nag-work right now. Diba? Makita mo, totally, sabi niyo, walang connect ka. Nasa medical field. Diba? Pero yung graduate siya, medical field, yung course niya. Pero, ano ginagawa niya ngayon? Nasa IT field siya. O, di ba? So, these are things you can explore, no? And don't limit yourself.
I
Yan lang
agree, Sir Kim. So, di ba, kahit naman ngayon, graduating, I'm sure may mga students na kahit graduating na, hindi pa rin sila sure sa course na meron sila. So, malay nyo sa first job nyo, yun talaga yung maging para sa inyo. Ayan. So, ayan. So, thank you so much, Sir Kim. So, we have a question. So, private message. You don't have to PM me, guys. Mas maganda post sa comment section para mas
Oo
makita
nga,
ng
post nyo
ayan.
lang.
So, ayan.
Sige.
So, the question, Sir Kim, is, ayan, how can I share my resume link with potential employers or colleagues? How can I
How
better
can I
share my
share my
resume link?
resume link to companies?
Potential employers or colleagues.
Okay, so to potential employers, several options. So una, ikaw lang ang may ultimate control kung sino bibigyan mo ng resume link mo. So one option is you can share it through email. Yan ang pinaka-formal. Because you write an email, I would like to apply to your company, to your position. This is my resume. So instead of attaching, you just type their resume link. Ang pinaka-practical naman ngayon is using your cell phone because most of the people, even if they email, they're using their cell phone. So ang para sa akin, the mobile phone has a lot of a lot of platform. Pwede ka mag-email, pwede ka mag-chat. 'Di ba? Kung alam mo yung number niya, alam mo messenger niya, i-chat mo na lang, 'di ba? Hi HR, ito po yung aking resume. O hindi mo na kailangan mag-attach or anything. Wala na ita-download. Just type there your resume link. 'Di ba? Gusto mo i-text, pwede rin, 'di ba? Kung may load kayo, kung alam mo yung number nung kausap mo. So it's really very very flexible, and at the end of it, ikaw ang may ultimate control ng security mo. So yun para sa akin. I hope nasagot yung tanong ni Ma'am Joyce kung paano mo si-share. Just like how you want to share any message to anyone. O, di ba? Ganun lang siya. Here or outside of the country. Pwede kahit saan po.
Diba? Kahit nga nag-attend ka lang ng birthday party, pag may nakita kang company na sa tingin mo, ay sir, I'd like to apply here sa resume link.
Sa catering company na to. O, di ba? Halimbawa, nasa HRM ka, hospitality, di ba? Nakita mo, uy, mukhang maganda tong catering company. O, di ba? Gusto ko mag-apply. Tapos nakita mo doon, may naka-display ng mga email address, di ba? Tapos alam mo yung
Correct,
HR.
Ganun ka-flexible sa resume link, di ba? Kahit saan, kahit kumakain ka lang sa karinderya kapag, di ba, may nakita kang open. Ay, here's my resume link po.
Tama.
So, ganun lang. So, hindi nila kailangan kumuha ng hard copies pa. Check lang nila. Another question, Sir Kim, thank you for answering that one. So, another question is, are there any privacy concerns we should consider when sharing our online resume or our resume link?
For the privacy things naman, una-una, kayo naman ang magsiset ng privacy settings nyo. So when you go to your dashboard, you choose the information that you want to show or hide in public. So even if you put everything there, lagay mo lahat ng details mo, yung lalabas pa rin sa public view will still be dependent on anong info ang pipiliin mo. Yan yun. So, nag-attach ka ng mga document, halimbawa may pre-employment requirement kailangan, NBI clearance, di ba? Nag-submit ka dyan, mga government IDs, in-attach mo. Tapos after mo ma-process ng company na yon, anong pwede mo gawin? You can now hide all this information na kasi na-process ka na. Diba? Ayun. Kung pumasado, edi good. Diba? Pag hindi pumasa, edi apply ulit. Diba? Ganun lang yan. Diba? So, it's really flexible at your control. Yan yun. Ikaw. Yeah, may isa pang nagtanong dito, si Rusty.
Yes, sir.
Sabi
So,
what should I do if my resume link is broken or not working? Parang broken-hearted ba dating niyan? Biro lang. What will you do if the resume link is broken? I'm not really sure what you mean by broken, pero if it's not working, then you use a different browser. Baka yung browser concern lang at this point ang kaya hindi mo siya ma-open. Try to type it sa Google Chrome or Firefox, then I think you'll be able to see it. Now, wala kasi tong gray area eh. Yung link mo, it's either correct or wrong. Halimbawa lang, resume link mo is Rusty B. Halimbawa lang, sample lang yon, Rusty B. O, tapos binigay mo sa isang HR, ma'am, ang resume link ko po ay rustyb.jobsanity.com. And narinig niya Rusty V. V as in victory. Hindi pala Bienvenuto. Diba? Hindi pala Bienvenuto ang pagka-B niya. Pagka-rin niya V. O, so pag tinap niya rustyv.jobsanity.com, hindi talaga mag-open yon. Kahit anong mangyari. Kasi wala namang Rusty V. Example. Or if there's another person by the name of Rusty, maybe Rusty Velez, halimbawa na Rusty V siya, diba? Baka yung resume link niya makikita niya, diba, ng HR. So you have to make sure that when you give it, dapat clear at malinaw, no? Tama, yung nakasulat. Pero kung may problem sa laman ng resume link mo, halimbawa lang, you really have some troubles or some concern, feel free to reach out na lang to our team. Email mo ang info, that's info, info@jobs180.com. Our customer support team will be more than willing to assist you. Okay? Just in case may tanong ka na hindi ko lang na-answer. Yun po. Ayan.
Correct. It's either you put lang, you enter lang wrong credentials. Pero if ever man, na yun nga, sabi ni Sir Kim, please reach out to Jobs 180 so we can help you better. So thank you so much for asking questions, Sir Rusty. Ayan, so at least merong, so thank you for answering my questions, sabi ni Sir Rusty. So
Wala na.
no worries, Sir Rusty. So, if you still have questions, so feel free to post your questions in the comment section. Ayan, so I think no more questions from the audience, Sir Kim. So, do you have final words po to
Ako, final reminder ko.
sorry, Sir Kim. One lang.
Meron, may humabol.
Pasok lang. Habol.
Sige. Habol natin. Can I create, sabi ni Sir Romano, can I create or make a new account with the same information when I forgot my account or password? Okay, paalala ko lang mga kaibigan, mga students or job seekers na nakikinig ngayon, mga may ResumeLink user, pag sakali lang po nakalimutan nyo yung password, ang gagawin nyo lang is just go and put there your email, yung registered email mo, tapos punta kayo sa jobs180.com, okay? Lagay mo doon yung email ninyo, tapos click nyo forgot password. The new password will be sent to your email. You don't need to create a whole new account because you're just, replicating something. Tapos later on, paano kung nakalimutan mo na naman? Gawa ka na naman pangatlo. 'Di ba? So, wag mo na doble-doblehin or triplehin yung resume link nyo. You just use one resume link lang and update yung information nyo. Doon na lang. 'Di ba? Ngayon, kung sakali lang talagang hindi mo na maalala yung password mo, pati email mo, nakalimutan mo na rin. O yan, malupit na yun. Pati email mo, nakalimutan mo na rin. Then, ito na yung pinaka-last resort siguro para sa akin is you send your concern sa info, that's info@jobs180.com, and our customer support team will be, again, more than willing to assist you. But we want to make sure lang na kayo talaga yung account owner niyon. So, mag-ready ka na ng mga possible itatanong sa inyo just to verify and make sure na ikaw talaga yung taong yun. Okay? Otherwise, because of data privacy, we want to make sure lang the info is very secured. Hindi namin basta-basta pwede i-reset or basta-basta pwede tulungan yung taong nagpapanggap lang na siya yung ibang tao. Okay? So, yun lang yung mini-make sure natin. Okay? I hope nasagot ko yung tanong ni Sir Romano. Yan po. By the way, sabi ko nga, last words. I know, baka iba sa inyo, meron pang gusto tanong lang niyo dyan. We have other speakers here who will be, again, ready to answer yung mga questions nila na pagdating sa mga agam-agam nyo sa pag-a-apply. Diba? Yan, sa pag-apply ng trabaho. Okay? So, paalala ko lang sa mga nakikita yung screen, go check out opportunities there. Yan, nakita nyo scroll ngayon. Schools, with an S, schools.jobs180.com/Siquijor SC. Okay, pinaiksi na namin kasi mahaba pag tinatype nyo, Siquijor State College. So, Siquijor SC. Puntahan nyo lang po yan. Maraming mga companies, maraming opportunities that are waiting for you. So, you create your resume link now and you'll be getting those job notifications. Okay? Again, good luck to everyone. Thank you po.
All right. So, thank you so
Again,
much.
thank you so much, Sir Kim. Again.
All right. So, if you
Okay,
have
partner.
questions, let us know sa ating comment section, and of course, we'll try to answer all your questions. Okay, so to introduce our next speaker, Sir EJ.
Yes. Ayan, presenting our second topic, virtual interviews. He worked as a team leader and regional business manager in 2 international executive search firms. He has years of experience recruiting in IT industry for APAC or APAC-based institutions such as financial services, consulting, social media, e-commerce, and fintech. Before all that, he worked as a nurse in Singapore and was medical oncology or blood and marrow transplant nurse at St. Luke's, Quezon City. Let us all welcome the Senior Recruitment Coordinator of Talent Acquisition Group of Cognizant Philippines, Mr. Aaron Mitchell Ancheta. Good morning, sir.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for the quick
Yes,
introduction.
hi, sir. Good morning po.
Hi, Sir Aaron. Good morning.
Sir, yes, may we ask to test your screen? Ayan, so your screen is up, sir. And if you're ready, The floor is yours, and we'll see you after 20 minutes for the Q&A.
Thanks,
Good luck.
guys. Thank you so much. All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm Aaron from the HR Talent Acquisition Group and Campus Events of Cognizant Philippines. And as Sir Kim mentioned earlier, ako yung tinutukoy niya na from the medical field, naging recruiter, naging HR person, and then now I'm uh, having a deep dive in the IT space. So there are lots and lots of opportunities out there. Just be sure to always, keep on training yourself. Do not stop learning. But anyway, that is not my topic for today. My topic for today is virtual interviews and how you would ace a virtual job interview or digital interview. So let's proceed. All right. So virtual or digital recruitment was already a thing even before the pandemic happened. And this is a common practice before for freelancers who serve offshore clients or sometimes local applicants who want to go abroad for new opportunities. Now, when the pandemic happened, we were forced to practice social distancing because it is crucial to, of course, to curb the spread of the virus. And simultaneously, while doing so, this also helped transform businesses around the world. Almost every company, not just here in the Philippines, but globally, they already adopted measures to actually counter the challenges brought upon by the pandemic. And this is what we call digital transformation. And part of digital transformation is HR transformation, meaning most of the HR related work are done digitally. And as we speak, the only gap that needs to be filled is the applicant's readiness to look for a job in this digital world. So the big question is, are the fresh graduates or the incoming graduates ready for this digital world? Are you guys technologically equipped? So it might seem difficult to get a new job in this new normal, but there are actually a lot of job opportunities out there if you're planning to jumpstart your career towards something digital. And I would say again that even before COVID-19, almost all job seekers have already turned towards digital platforms to find jobs. In fact, approximately 2 out of 5 candidates, I think right now, I can safely say 4 out of 5 candidates are actively searching and applying for jobs during this new normal setup. And that's already 40%. No, it's already 80%. So the remaining 20% are still doing job hunting uh, on a face-to-face setup. So everyone is already inclined in finding new jobs through various job platforms like jobs180.com. So that's the reason why we are ramping up our presence in the digital space. Now, I'd like to share some insight on how the digital recruitment is currently. But I know the next speaker will be discussing this in more detail. But I'll just give you a glimpse of how it looks like. So, first step is of course your application. After applying, if you're fortunate, someone from the sourcing team will reach out to you, ask you some of the initial screening questions. And once you pass the initial screening questions, they would ask about your availability, your day and time for an interview. And then you would receive an interview invitation, most likely through your email address. And once the interview date comes, of course, you will be subjected to a more technical set of questions. Once you pass those series of interviews, you will be receiving a feedback and also the result of your interviews, which hopefully you would pass and you'd get hired. And once you receive an offer for employment, it will be your onboarding already. So that's how quick it is right now. Now, in terms of virtual interviews, there are a lot of things that you need to consider before and during an interview. So, first is to not be afraid of failing an interview. I mentioned this because some of the applicants that I usually meet are really nervous about taking on interviews, mainly because they are afraid that they will fail the interview. What I usually tell them is that it's okay to fail the interview as long as you treat it as a learning experience. If you treat each failed interview as a learning experience, this is not a loss. That is not a loss. It's actually a gain for you because you would be better. You would do better in the next coming interviews to come. Um, Feeling nervous is also good. Feeling too nervous is bad. You, I would say that feeling nervous would be beneficial to you at some point because you can have the extra adrenaline rush as an advantage to focus more. I mean, to have more focus and to push your brain into overdrive and think of various answers to the common interview questions. So it's all right to feel nervous, but just don't feel too nervous because it might give you mental block. You might not be able to answer the questions effectively. Next is the interview is not about you or your CV. Rather, the interview is about how your track record and skills can add value to their team. Do not, as much as possible, try to explain to the interviewer how your skills would be beneficial for their team. Do not just enumerate all of your experiences because that would be very boring. Definitely, 60% of the interviewers would not listen to your ramblings. Rather, pique their interest by sharing your career highlights, sharing your skill sets that is relevant to the job that you're applying for. So yeah, that's it. Make sure you always maintain eye contact. This is a required trait during a face-to-face interview, and this is also very important, especially for virtual interviews. This will get the attention of the interviewer. The interviewer will feel that you're very engaged and you have the proper interview etiquettes uh, needed for a formal interview. Next is it is okay to pause for 5 seconds beyond that, and then they will think that you already spaced out. Um, if you encountered a difficult question, always remember that it's okay to pause for like 5 seconds for you to think of the best answer. It's okay to put a glass of water in front of you during virtual interviews. You just have to let the interviewer know or ask for permission for you to sip a bit of water, and that period of time will be enough for you to quickly think of the best answer for that difficult question. So that's what I usually advise to um, the new graduates. No? Um, they can drink or sip water in between for them to actually think of an answer to a question. So it's okay to pause sometimes. Um, Wear corporate attire as much as possible, something that you would wear in a corporate office or when you're meeting a boss in the office, or someone. I mean, something that someone would wear if they are working in a bank, or a financial sector. So as much as possible, be corporate and be in the meeting lobby at least 15 minutes before the schedule. I'll be sharing the reasons why you need to be there 15 minutes before the schedule later on. And lastly, smile often unless the topic is serious, because smile has a different impact. It has a big impact rather to the outcome of the interview. It gives off a very positive mindset, a very positive personality to the interviewer. So that's a plus, actually. So I'd like to emphasize on some of the things that you need to remember. First off is the platform to be used during virtual interview. So starting from now, you should be researching on the most common video conferencing platforms that is used by companies. So typically it would be Zoom or Teams. Some other companies use WebEx. Well, some startup companies use Google Meet. So just be familiar with those common video conferencing platforms. And um, upon getting an interview invitation, just make sure that you create multiple reminders, as much as possible, an early reminder in your calendar. So as to you will not miss that interview schedule. Next is to practice interview etiquette in front of the webcam. Of course, you must avoid scratching your nose or combing your hair while you're speaking during an interview. As much as possible, you must be as still as you can. Try to be um, as presentable, you know, because this is a formal interview. So you must avoid doing unnecessary things. You must avoid fidgeting like that. And lastly is to prepare based on the advice of your initial recruiter. Actually, when you speak with a sourcing associate or the initial recruiter, you can actually ask for some tips, or you can ask them what will be the next interview be covering. What are the topics that will be covered during the uh, technical interview? So you can research on those so you can come prepared during the next level interview. Next is the internet connection and devices. Of course, you must have stable internet connection. And also, it would be safe to have a backup internet connection. Um, well, sometimes our fiber connection usually drops. It sometimes fails us. So it would not be harmful, no, if we have cellular data as a backup for this interview. Just as long as you ensure that you have a really good reception, signal. Next is to test your audio and video devices prior to the interview. So you can check your microphone if it's working by using the voice recording app in your PC or your laptop. I think all computers have a voice recording application, so you can test your mic using that one. Um, or better yet, you can test the microphone using the video conferencing platforms that you will be using. And video, always check if your camera is working, if it's clear enough, if you're using a certain video conferencing platform. And lastly, again, prepare a backup internet connection. Next is to prepare for the actual interview. Of course, study the company's profile, what the company is doing, and what the company is aiming for. And most importantly, you should be reading the job description. Sometimes the interviewers would ask you about what you know uh, what you know of this opening. Why did you apply for this job opening? What do you know about this job opening? Sometimes they would also ask, describe to us how our company works. What is the goal of our company? So you should always do research. Brush up on the basics of your line of work. Um, if you're a fresh graduate, they will not focus on technical stuff. Rather, they will focus more on the basic skills, the fundamental skills that surely you have learned in the academy. So brush up on the basics. List down common interview questions, which I will be discussing in a bit. Wear appropriate clothes, like I mentioned earlier, and assign a place that is quiet and well lit. Do not take an interview in a very dark room where the interviewer will find it hard to see how you look like. And also try as much as possible, try to avoid a place that is noisy. If you anticipate that there will be a home construction during an interview, it would be best for you to look for another place to take on the interview, because it will be very difficult for the interviewer to understand your answers if he or she will hear some background noise. As much as possible, try to look for a place that is conducive for an interview. If you have a noise canceling headphone, use it. And lastly, proper camera framing. Basically, uh, this would tell you how to frame yourself in front of the camera as much as possible. Um, well, rule of thirds is basically just dividing your screen into multiple thirds. So one, just put two lines here and then another two intersecting lines horizontally. So that would have nine boxes for the whole frame. Now, your head, your eyes should be just above the middle box, and your mouth should be in the middle of the middle box. So that's the best framing for an interview. Avoid trying to take an interview while the camera is below your face. Avoid looking. I mean, avoid placing the camera at the side of your face as much as possible. Always have this forward facing position when taking an interview. Okay, so now to the main topic, common interview questions. So one of the common interview question is, tell me something about yourself. So please do not give too much or even too little information about your personal life. You may share a personal information, but um, as much as possible, try to relate it on the intention to as to why you would like to have the opportunity to work for that employer. So one example that you should avoid is answering like this. Hello, my name is Aaron, and I like to play basketball. I love to read books, and I usually go camping during weekends. My zodiac sign is Scorpio, so please do understand that sometimes my personality come too strong. I applied for this finance position because I know that this will be a gateway for me to earn a hefty amount of income and at the same time start my corporate career. Um, Instead, you may answer like this. Hello, my name is Aaron, and I have recently completed my degree in business administration in XYZ University. To give you some context on my interest in this job opportunity, both my parents are involved in the finance industry, and I have heard a lot about their work. This naturally got me interested in the subject, and I wanted to pursue a career in the banking and financial services industry as well. Having personal mentors like them in the family would be an advantage and an inspiration to me at the same time. So, see, you shared the personal information telling them that your parents are both working in the banking and financial sector, and that is what made you interested in the job that they are offering. So, yeah, maximum of 2 minutes only. Do not ramble for like 5 to 10 minutes. That would be too long for, uh, an introduction about yourself. Next common interview question is, how were you able to find this job opportunity? So this is very simple. Just share with them how you leverage your time looking for jobs by, well, for example, if you found this job through a job site, you can share with them that you spend most of your time looking for jobs in job portals like Jobs 180 or the other online job platforms. And luckily, you have found this opening with XYZ company and it made you really interested. So you can answer it like that. If you found this job opportunity via social media, please do talk about how you usually spend your time in social media productively. Well, I usually browse Facebook and I join um, HR groups or accounting groups because I know that there are a lot of job opportunities posted in those groups. And luckily, I found this job opportunity through a Facebook user and I inquired about it. And that is the reason why I am here in this interview. Something like that. If you found this job opportunity through a referral, you can emphasize on how you nurture healthy relationships with your colleagues or your friends, and that they are really there to support you if you want to find new opportunities. So, yeah. Another common interview question is, what are your strengths? But usually, this will go with your weaknesses. Sometimes they just combine strengths and weaknesses in just one question. So, in terms of strengths, be sure to show rather than tell. Try to avoid um, saying things like, I am a hardworking person, I'm very well organized, and I am very resilient. That would be not enough. Those are just words, and the interviewer will not understand where you're coming from. So, as much as possible, try to formulate an answer that would relate your strengths into experience. So, for example, your strength is you're a team player, or your strength is you are innovative. And because that I am innovative, I am a fan of process improvement. And because of my interest, I have actively collaborated with the whole team to improve all of our team's processes. And this resulted in lesser cost in time and other resources. And I believe that that would be my strength. So you can answer it like that. In terms of weaknesses, do not um, try to mention weakness like I'm lazy, or or I usually encounter trouble with my supervisor. I do not participate in team projects. Instead, you can position your weaknesses and turning them to one of your strengths. For example, you can say that one of my weaknesses is that I'm really meticulous when it comes to my job, to a point that I make sure that everything is perfect. But even though I'm very meticulous and it would take additional time for me to complete a task, I make sure that I will not compromise the output of my work, and it will always be the best output that I can provide. So there, that's how you position your weakness, right? So I hope you get it. Next interview question, common interview question is, why did you leave your previous job? Now, this is a tricky question because most of the interviewers that I encountered before, they were very honest about the reason why they left their previous company. Some of them shared something about how bad the management is. Some even shared the recent conflict that they had with their colleagues, and that's the reason why they left. So, as much as possible, be honest, but keep it positive. Do not badmouth or sour grape your previous employer or your previous supervisor, because that would tell so much about how you handle challenges in the company. So one good example for this is this: I left XYZ company when the management decided to gear towards a stricter way of handling employees, ergo micromanagement. But I completely understand that this is to put the performance of the team on overdrive and, of course, to yield record breaking results. In fact, I have tried to stay and be resilient, hoping to be fine with the changes and adapt to it completely because I really like what I do there. However, I felt that this does not align with what I am looking for in an employer anymore. So I decided to move on to find other opportunities that would align best with my career expectations. So, see, the answer is a bit vague, but it would give the interviewer a clear understanding of what really happened. So the goal of the company is not aligned with your career goals anymore. So it sounds really safe. You've been very honest. You've left the company because of the change in the management style, but at least you mentioned that you tried to stay and that you want something that would align to your career expectations, and that's understandable. Next interview question is, how do you handle stress and pressure at work? So the best way to respond to this question is to share an experience of how you have successfully handled stress, uh, during a project or in a team. So avoid claiming that you never or rarely experience stress. The HR or the interviewer would anticipate an answer for this question. I never had the chance to encounter an applicant who did not, who said that he or she never encountered stress during work. Definitely there is. Rather, formulate your answer in a way that acknowledges workplace stress and explain how you've overcome it or even use it to your advantage. So, one example is if the cause of stress is a person, for example, a teammate or a supervisor, you can answer like this. Of course, it is inevitable that unanticipated stressors will arise. When this happens, I just take a deep breath, remembering that this person I'm dealing with is frustrated with a situation and not with me. And then I actively listen to their concerns and I suggest a plan with the person I have conflict with to resolve the issue as quickly as possible. So, that's how you safely answer this question. It's kind of difficult to answer because this will uh, bear your reaction when it comes to stress. So that's one way of safely answering this. Okay. And another interview question is, describe a difficult work situation or project. It's pretty much the same with the previous slide. There is actually no right or wrong answer because different people have different ways of handling challenges and stress. So again, just try to make it positive as much as possible. Okay. And these are other common interview questions that you can research, do some research in the future. How do you handle success, or rather, how do you handle failure? Do you work well with other people? Or similarly, the interviewer might ask, describe yourself as a team player. What can you do better for us than the other applicants, or rather, why are you the best person for this job? So those are the questions that you can look into even after this event. Okay, so that's it. There are a lot of um, new interview questions, especially during the new normal. Sometimes they would ask you your capability of handling remote work. They would also ask you something about attendance and tardiness, absenteeism, because remote work is quite common nowadays, and it's very difficult for leaders to monitor their employees remotely. So they are very keen on your commitment. Sometimes they would ask you about your plans in the next 5 years if ever you will be hired by that company. So um, be sure to share your commitment, your long-term commitment with them. Show integrity by sharing your track record with your previous job, or if you're a fresh graduate, your track record in your university, how you handle your time during projects, how you organize everything and all. So those are the things that you need to remember during virtual interviews. So, before I wrap up my presentation, I'd like to share with you some insights on what Cognizant is. So, Cognizant is one of the world's leading professional services companies, transforming clients' business operating and technology models for the digital era. And we always innovate with a purpose, and we find ways to modernize businesses, operations, and their digital needs. So Cognizant is at number 19 for Fortune Modern Board 25, 589 on Forbes Global 2000, and 463 on Forbes World's Best Employer list. And here are the industries that we service: healthcare, insurance, manufacturing, logistics, and energy and utilities, BFS, retail, travel, and hospitality, communications, media, technology, and of course, life sciences. So, why work in Cognizant? Well, this is a video, but I'll just skip this for now. So if you want to check our recent opportunities, our current opportunities, job opportunities, just go to jobs180.com/cognizantph, or you may also go to careers.cognizant.com/ph for our newest job opportunities. So that's all. Thank you so much, Jobs 180, for this opportunity to speak with the students.
All right. So thank you so much, Mr. Aaron, for discussing about virtual interviews. So now, may we ask SSC, the audiences from SSC. So if you have questions for regarding the topic, or you have questions for Sir Aaron, so feel free to post your questions in the comment section, and of course, Sir Aaron here will try to answer your questions. So while waiting for questions from the audience, Sir Aaron, so Sir EJ here, my partner will be asking muna questions po. Sir
Yeah.
EJ?
Sir. And I have a few questions lang po here, no? My first question is, uh, what are the indications that the interview is successful?
You mean prior to? That would be a very hard question to answer, because
Mm,
sometimes the interviewers would not give you a hint if you've done well. But as much as possible, us recruiters would give you, an insight on how the interview went, especially if it's a technical interview. um, we can actually give you an initial feedback from the interviewer. It depends on the applicant actually. If the interview uh, was prolonged because of extra questions, no, that's one good indicator because you picked their interest and they wanted to know more about you. That's the reason why they ask additional questions. But if the interview um, was very short, like 5 to 10 minutes only, it's not 100% that they are not interested. Some stakeholders, some hiring managers are like that. They want to have an interview, a quick interview, because they expect the initial interviewers to screen the applicant already. So uh, the final interview usually just entails, how you behave during an interview, how's your communication skills and all. So sometimes it will be very quick and it's nerve wracking, I know, but it's not 100% um, failed if the interview is short. Although it's tipping towards, a not good interview if it's really a short interview.
Okay. So, guys, if you have any questions pa kay sir, this is your chance na. So, comment lang tayo ng comment. Okay, huwag tayo mahiya. And sir, for my second question, while waiting no, for their questions, for my second question, is speaking of body language, sir, is body language still important to apply, even if it is virtual? Syempre, hindi na face to face. Should we consider still our body language?
Definitely. I mentioned that earlier during the presentation that how you project yourself during an interview would tell so much about your personality. If you keep on, if you do not value proper interview etiquette and you keep on fidgeting or you keep on scratching your nose or you keep on brushing your hair, showing them your recently rebonded hair, something like that, it will tell so much about how you value or how you respect, corporate people or your future workmates. Um, that's the reason why I gave some important tips on how you should project during interviews, especially virtual interviews, because I'm a firm believer of first impressions last. So if if you gave off an impression that you are not really that formal during the interview, I would not expect you to be as formal as you can or be professional as you can in when we hire you. So that would be somewhat like a red flag, but not on the extreme spectrum of a red flag, but it is.
Okay, thank you, sir. I guess we don't have any more questions in the comment section. Ayan.
One last question lang, sir, Sir Aaron
So,
and Sir
with
EJ.
that, sir, thank you so much. Yes, sir. Sorry.
So I think may lag lang on part of Sir Aaron. Sir Aaron, before you go backstage, I have here one question lang. No? So this is a uh, PM question, so from SSE. So one question is, how can you offer advice on how to convey enthusiasm and personality effectively in a virtual interview setting? So we really not sure if you interviewers po could feel the sincerity of applicants po, even if it's virtual lang, no? So ayun po. So your advisor.
Yes, we do feel your personality during virtual interviews.
Mm.
Again, body language is a big factor. Your tone of voice is another factor. If you're monotonous for the whole interview session, then that would give us the impression that you don't have a positive mindset. You are a pessimist. You're not a team player. You're not enthusiastic even in applying for this job. So you should always take note of how your voice comes out of your microphone and on the other line. At the same time, again, smile has a big impact because interviewees who frown for the whole interview session gives off the impression that um, you're not approachable, um, you're always serious, you don't have the right amount of humor. And I know that you may say that sense of humor is not really important, but there is this cultural fit that we call. If you have an existing team who are all enthusiastic, if they are all happy with their work, and then you will hire someone who always frowns, who has a negative mindset, that person is not a cultural fit in your team, and definitely that is not a good person to hire to add to your team unless you want a counter traction because your team is already really really happy, they're overly happy, and you want someone to join the team to actually balance everything in the team. So well, that's one justification, but definitely if the person is not culture fit, um, you know, um, that is something that you should consider. So I guess smiling is a big factor during the interview. Yeah, those are just some of the few things that you need to remember during interviews. Again, whatever you do in an interview will give off an impression in the hiring managers and interviewers. So make sure you give your best foot forward for every interview that you will uh, take on. That's it.
Got it. Thank you so much, Sir Aaron, for answering. Ayan. So, Sir AJ?
And sir, again, thank you so much for having us and joining us today. We wish to have you on our next set of webinars. So,
Surely. Thank
ingat
you.
po. Ayan. If you wish to apply and know more about Cognizant, then you may visit yun. Okay. So, if you may visit jobs180.com/cognizant PH. Ayan. Para sa mga audience natin dyan na interested. Okay. So, let's proceed. Ayan. Presenting our third topic, how companies hire for work from home. Yan. He is a graduate of BS Psychology and is a licensed psychometrician with more than a year of experience in recruitment field. Recruiting associate at Accenture. Let us all welcome Mr. Raymart Kyle Dabbay. Yeah. Hello, Sir Kyle. Good morning po.
Hello EJ, hello Joyce.
Sir
Good
Kyle,
morning
good
everyone.
morning.
And can you guys hear me?
Hi.
By the way,
Ayan. Sir, yes po. Loud and clear. Yeah. May
ayan,
we
good
ask
to
you,
know.
you to please share your screen so that we can test if
Yep.
okay na?
Okay, let
Yeah.
me just try sharing it. Bear with me guys. Medyo mabagal ang internet ko dito sa office. Pero ayan. Hopefully
It's
I'm
okay,
sharing
sir.
already.
Ayan. So we can all see your screen na. So your screen is up na, sir. And see you after 20 minutes for the Q&A. Good luck.
Ayan. Okay. Alright. Thank you. Let me just adjust my screen. Hold on guys. Ayan, but first and foremost, I wanted to greet everyone, students from Siquijor State College. Good morning. My name is Kyle from Accenture's Campus Recruitment, and today I will be discussing with you guys how companies hire for work from home jobs or work from home opportunities. Okay, so just to give you guys an idea, I've started working in Accenture last year. I started working in August of 2022. So I have celebrated my first year in this company last August 2023. And within my year, more than a year of tenure here in our company, I would say 70% or 75% of my time is mostly remote or virtual, meaning yung mga trabaho ko, ginagawa ko remotely, at home, sometimes at a coffee shop, sometimes sa bahay ng partner ko, sometimes elsewhere where I don't feel like working at home, ganyan. And I would say 25% of those is I am working on external venues, going to different universities, colleges, and then in office. So, here in Accenture, ang work setup ko kasi, no, ang work setup namin is we are on a hybrid working setup. So there are times that we are required to report in our offices, which is in this case, currently I'm reporting in the office. I am here in Cubao, pero originally I live in Bulacan. So I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that. Pero I just want to know, I just want you guys to know that that is my work setup as of this moment. Have I tried work from home setup? Yes, of course, I've tried work from home setup. No, I graduated last 2019, and I think my very first official job is work from home, and then my second job is work from home as well. And then when I entered Accenture, it then became hybrid. So I just wanted to give you guys an idea of how is my work experiences like. No, kasi we will be sharing um, some things about how companies hire for work from home jobs because I myself is working in the recruitment team. So meaning we are the one who are responsible for letting employees in different companies. No, for example, here in Accenture. All right. So the very first thing that I will be discussing is how do companies recruit talent? Okay, so I just want to set your expectation, guys. I only have like 3 slides, I believe, no? Pero I'll go thoroughly each slides, no? So I'll be discussing one by one. Okay, so pre-pandemic, even before we were presented about the idea of remote or work from home setup, these are the ways that we recruit people, no? Recruit applicants for specific positions that are available. So of course we provide flyers. If you guys are familiar, maybe in your area, let's say for example, may isang company A. Si company A and company B magkalapit sila. And then, pag napadaan ka, bibigyan ka nila ng flyers. Hi po, hello, ganyan. If you would like to apply in our company, ito po yung flyers namin with all the details and stuff. 'Di ba? Si company B, ganun din. Ito rin po flyers for you guys, ganyan or for you. And andyan na po lahat ng details, person to contact, schedule, so on and so forth. No, that's how we usually do it before, face to face. Physically, you'll see them giving out flyers. No, and sometimes you will experience that yourself. No, actually, I experienced flyers before. No, kasi like what I've said nga, 2019 ako graduate, so I also tried applying face to face sa mga different companies. So I've tried that. Yun nga lang, I never had the chance to do my first job physically. Ayun nga lang, work from home talaga. And the next is door to door. Ayan, another way of recruiting talents or applicants. No, sometimes different companies would have to go in, different locations, and they would really have to ask, hello po, meron po bang unemployed dyan sa family nyo? If yes po, ito po, we have openings for this certain positions, ganyan. Sometimes at your home, sometimes at different, let's say, location, sometimes in a coffee shop, ganyan, or anyway, no, literally door to door, kung saan merong may room, saan may location na enclosed, di ba? If merong recruiter na pupunta dyan, uh, will recruit people, they will try to do it. That is how we do it way back about door to door. And the next face-to-face interviews, of course, prior to the pandemic. No, ever since before the pandemic, we are used to face-to-face interviews. You'll really have to report yourself in the site. You'll have to show up physically para ma-interview, right? So you really have to be in your best outfit, your formal or sometimes semi-formal outfit, smart casual outfit, and then have to be interviewed. No, get yourself cold feets talaga kasi physically makikita mo yung interviewer mo. Eh. So that is how we do it before. Even with assessment, no? You'll have to take the assessment, let's say language assessment or mathematics assessment, ganyan. Whatever position you may be applying for, you'll have to take the assessment. Pwedeng by paper, pwedeng by laptop, by computer. You'll have to do it physically. Doon talaga sa office nila. I've experienced those stuff as well. I've experienced face-to-face interviews. I've experienced assessment tests. Now, ever since the pandemic happened, no, we had to transition into another kind of work setup. We have to adjust to the new normal, no? Kasi of course, business and companies has to, proceed. Hindi tayo pwede mag-stop. So we have to make adjustments in what we are used to doing. So right now, in present times, we were introduced with different ways to recruit talent. Okay? First and foremost, right now we offer recruitment through social media or the internet. Okay, so minsan, especially if you're a fresh graduate, diba, you will look for job openings online, and then magugulat ka na lang. Pagpunta mo ng Facebook, meron ng advertisement about, let's say, Accenture, ayan, 60,000 signing bonus, apply now. Ganyan. Or Accenture, open for fresh graduates, submit your application now. May kita mo sa Facebook or sa, let's say, other platforms, Twitter, Instagram. There are always advertisement na of job openings in the social media platforms and even in the internet. No, sometimes merong mga openings sa hindi lang sa social media sites. Sometimes sa, let's say, how do I say this? Let's say you're just visiting um, a journal, no? A journal page or a research paper page, yung mga online, di ba? May kita mo may mga job openings na din doon. That is how people advertise openings now. Kasi it's way easier kasi recruiters, companies know that people are now way more engaged in their phones more than ever, no? Lahat tayo may cellphone, lahat tayo hindi naaalis yung mga mata natin sa phone. So that explains why we try to advertise and utilize the most out of social media sites. Okay. And the next, we have AI generated job boards. Okay. So AI generated job boards, ito yung mga platforms where you can see um, positions, no? Let's say they will be asking you anong position yung hinahanap mo, are you a fresh graduate, do you have experience, no? AI generated job boards will try to filter out and give you the most tailor fit position na pwede sa'yo. If you're a fresh graduate, no experience, ang course mo is psychology, and you're working, let's say, in Ilocos or Manila or Cebu, ganyan, ano yung mga positions that are available for you. No, kasi syempre, when you look online ng mga job positions, let's say, ang course mo ay psychology and you're looking for positions in human resources, nakita mo, ay may opening yung Accenture for human resources sa social media, makikita mo. Pero you cannot guarantee na that position is available within your area, no? Especially in areas in Ilocos and Cebu. Ngayon, AI-generated job boards will help you filter out, no? Through different platforms. Let's say, for example, Jobs 180, no? They have AI-generated job boards where you can filter out yung mga positions. So, I'm a psychology graduate. Ito lang mga position na applyan ko, and I'm currently, let's say, staying in Ilocos. So, I want to see opportunities that are nearby, that are within my area. Ganun lang. So, that's part of the second way of recruiting talent as of this, in the new normal. And then next, of course, virtual interviews and online exams go hand in hand. No, unlike before, we were now introduced to virtual interviews and online examinations, where candidates would only have to check their email or check their text messages if they receive schedules or assessment links already. No, so I'm not sure some of you have already tried looking for job opportunities online, pero I'm pretty sure if you look for job opportunities online, I would say 80% of it, the process would also be online. Of course, unless they mentioned na they are asking candidates to go on their site para doon mag-process. Pero most of the time talaga, mga online postings, online job postings. Usually, yung mga interviews on mga examinations niyan will be conducted virtually. Pero if you will be asking me, what do I prefer? Do I prefer the way of recruiting talent in the pre-pandemic era where you have to go physically, or in the present? No, honestly, it's actually the present one. I would really prefer the present one because it's more streamlined, no? Mas madami tayong mas nage-generate ng candidates, mas madami tayong options, unlike way back in pre-pandemic. I wouldn't, disregard the pre-pandemic ways of recruiting talent. Still, um, yun nga lang, mas preferred ko yung present ways of recruiting talents or recruiting applicants. I just think it's a little more efficient and a little more faster compared to those ways before the pandemic. But of course, some other people would prefer, physically interviewing, physically giving the assessment dun sa candidate. They'd rather have them physically in the office para they can monitor, so on and so forth. It just depends on your preference. Pero me personally, I prefer yung present era, yung new normal era where we recruit talent online. Okay, so next is we will be discussing the uh, cons and pros of this kind of setup, yung present, yung new normal era of hiring. Yung mga more online or virtual. Okay, so the first one, let's discuss the negative first. Okay, what were the challenges we anticipated in this new format, in this new way of recruiting candidates? Okay, so the very first and the most obvious one is less personal interactions between applicant and the recruiter. Of course, kahit naman online yan, online interview, there is, there's still a sense of interaction, there's still a human genuineness, no? Kahit online lang yan. Pero, I don't know, some of you guys might agree, no? Pero, it's different if you meet the person that you're going to interview physically. Diba? It's just like dating. Diba? When you're dating someone, LDR kayo, nagchat-chat lang kayo, nagvi-video call lang kayo. I don't think you can give your 100% trust to that person. Diba? Parang hindi ka assured that that person will give the utmost effort in loving you, di ba? In providing you attention, ganyan. Kasi nga, you haven't met them personally, di ba? Pero, yun nga lang, that's the downside of the new normal way of recruiting. Less personal interactions. Medyo harder nga lang kasi companies that prefers virtual recruitment, no, has lesser personal interactions with the candidates. It has less human genuinity compared to virtual, pero hindi naman siya makaka-apekto because as recruiters, you have the option to ask anything dun sa candidate para wala kang mag-doubt, of course. All right, next. High fallout rate due to technical difficulties. Of course, this is something that is inevitable. Okay? When we are, let's say for example, ako yung recruiter and you guys are the applicants, no? Let's say, okay, I'll schedule you today for your interview. Please be ready around 5 p.m. later afternoon. Pagdating ng 5 p.m., biglang nagka-brown out. Biglang you've encountered some tech difficulties, biglang nawala yung charger mo biglang hindi na gumana yung charger ng laptop mo and suddenly namatay na lang bigla yung laptop mo or yung phone mo that you will be using for the interview. It happens, no? And that's true. I've experienced that firsthand before nung nag-interview ako ng mga candidates, no? Sometimes they would literally report to me, nasa room na ako, kung saan ko sila i-interview, and they will message, "Sir, apologies po, I cannot attend because nawalan ng kuryente dito sa area namin." That happens. Or sometimes, "Sir, sensya na po, medyo mabagal yung internet ko. Apologies po kasi I cannot give my 100%." It happens. No? That is one downside of this kind of virtual approach of recruitment. Meron nga lang madaming alang technical difficulties which I think personally you wouldn't necessarily encounter if you're going to interview the person physically, right? Diba? I don't think maglalag sila in person, no? I don't think mawawala sila ng signal in person. I don't think that's possible. So, nangyayari lang yan sa virtual approach ng recruitment. And then next is higher percentage of unresponsiveness and rescheduled application. Okay, listen. So, when you apply physically, no, kunyari nag-allot ka ng isang araw, lalabas ako ngayon, I will be applying to different positions and I want to apply at least 2 or 3 companies today. So after 3 companies mo, pagod ka na, you cannot send out resumes to any other companies anymore. Kasi nga physical, pinupuntahan mo talaga sila to apply. Compared to pag virtual, you can send out as many resume as you want. No? Pwede ka mag-apply kay ganitong company, company A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. You can apply at least more at least to more than 10 companies in one day as long as you can, as long as di napapagod yung kamay mo kakaklik ng mga buttons. No, that's possible. Hence, no, sometimes some candidates has already forgotten that they actually applied for this position and then eventually sa dami ng in-applyan nila, sometimes kinukurate na lang nila kung ano yung gusto lang talaga nila, filter out lang nila. Malas mo, pag yung company nyo yung ayaw pala niya, hindi na siya nag-respond sa'yo for the next steps, right? Unlike when you apply physically, you'll have to report to them, finish the interview, the assessment doon talaga sa site nila, sa office nila. Ayun. So those are the cons, no, or the downsides of or the challenges rather that we have anticipated in this new format. And I think that's is still applicable kahit na madami ng hybrid work setup as of this moment. Okay, so what's working? Ano yung mga cons of doing this kind of new way of recruitment? First is faster and more streamlined application process due to virtual interviews and online assessments. Again, it's easier for our team not to send out links, to send out schedule of the interview or the assessment to the applicants kasi you'll only have to do it by click, no? So, mas madali. You can send it by schedule, you can you can schedule their interviews and plot it in your virtual calendar. So, mas madali siya and you can process more candidates kasi you can manage your time kasi you'll only have to attend to them virtually. Cool. Let's say, for example, you've allotted 30 minutes of your time for them, then 30 minutes lang. Next is online interviews and assessments ensure general safety and security for candidates and recruiting teams. Ayun, so I think in terms of general safety and security, no, I think doing online interviews and assessments would, promote safer ways to secure a job instead of, literally going to the site and spending some time, feeling some inconvenience on your end. Mas madali, mas safe pag ginawa mo yung interview or yung assessment virtually or online. Next is cost efficient for both employer and job seeker. Of course, cost efficient. Why? You can apply to, compare mo yung nag-apply ka sa 3 different companies na pinuntahan mo talaga, pamasahe mo, pagkain mo, water mo, whatever thing na iced coffee mo, let's say nag-Starbucks ka pa ganyan. So let's say ang baon mo for that specific day is 500 ganyan or more than pa para lang mag-apply sa mga different companies. Compared pag nag-apply ka sa bahay, hindi ka pa nakakaligo, hindi ka pa nakakain, panis pa yung laway mo, pero you've already applied to different companies, no, as soon as you open up your eyes, parang bigla ka na naisip, ay, apply nga ako dito, ganyan-ganyan, nag-browse ka lang sa Facebook and then you saw an opening nearby your area and then you submitted your application. It's cost efficient, no? Kasi cost efficient and way more convenient from your end. Kasi nga, you'll only have to click some buttons sa phone mo. Click ka lang and then you're already applied. Afterwards, baka na-consider ka na, natanggap ka na rin sa position without leaving your house. And the next is broader pools of candidates. So meaning, pag kasi mga work from home positions, no, or work from home jobs, it's easier to look for candidates kasi for work from home jobs, especially mga positions na doesn't specify kung saan mo gustong location kasi nga work from home eh. So you can apply, you can look for candidates in Ilocos, in Manila, in Cebu, in Visayas, in Mindanao, so on and so forth. You have plenty of options compared sa, kunyari, yung position is available in, let's say, in Siquijor lang. Let's say in Siquijor lang available yung position, and within Siquijor, nahihirapan ka maghanap ng candidates kasi based on your assessment, parang konti lang yung fit. Pero pag work from home, you can extend, you can broaden your pool of candidates and check other locations. No? So you can conduct a side-by-side comparison of what's working and what are the challenges, no, in this kind of setup, in this kind of in this way of recruiting. Pero yun nga, there's always pros and cons to everything. Ang important is we're looking for the most convenient for our candidates, for our applicants, kung saan sila mas pinakamadadalian. Okay, so I guess I just want to give some skills needed for the future are changing. So these are just the top 10 skills, no? This was last year. I don't think may na-release na for this year. Pero yeah, just want to give you guys an overview of the skills that you have to take into consideration. Also, you might want to hone this kind of skills, no, in order to score big time positions in different companies. Analytical thinking and innovation, active learning and learning strategies, creativity, originality and initiative, technology design and programming, because we are, moving into the future of tech, critical thinking and analysis, and complex problem solving, leadership and social influence, of course, emotional intelligence, reasoning, problem solving and ideation, systems analysis and evaluation. These are the skills that are important to have, no? Kahit hindi lahat, at least one or two of those skills meron ka, you'll be able to land a job that is, fit for you or kung ano man matapos mo in your college. Okay, so I guess that concludes my talk. If you want to learn more about our company, you can visit www.accenture.com/ph students. And for open positions within our company, you can actually check out jobs180.com/Accenture. Jobs180 is our partner, in recruiting candidates, especially fresh graduates. So if you guys are interested in applying in Accenture, might as well submit your resume through the resume link in Jobs180. And then andiyan na rin yung mga social media sites namin, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram for more information about our company. So that concludes my talk. Thank you again to Jobs 180 for this opportunity, and of course, our school for today, Siquijor State College.
All right. So thank you so much, Sir Kyle, for that talk. So to our audience, so if you have questions regarding the topic, so please feel free to post your questions in the comment section. And so while waiting for questions, Sir Kyle, I'll be asking a few questions. Since we are time bound, I'll be asking na lang kasi 1 to 2 questions. Ayan. So
Okay.
first question is, what measures do companies or your company po take to ensure data security and kind of confidentiality when hiring remote employees? Because we're really not sure po if yung mga tao na to is really makapagkakatiwalaan, trusting po, no? Since na-hired sila through virtual process. Yeah.
Yes, thank you for the question. No, I definitely think, no, especially now at these days na rampant yung mga let's say hackers, disinformation. It's very important for you to know whether the thing that you guys are clicking online is reliable, 'di ba? So Accenture of course promotes the highest way of security by making sure that the emails that we send, the text messages that we send to our candidates is from Accenture itself. Now, usually, let's say, for example, pag text, may kita mo Accenture lang talagang name, ganyan. Or sa email, merong accenture.com at the end. Any other, I guess, link, email or ayan, any other than those
Mm-hmm.
address, yes, I think that is not within Accenture. And we also encourage our candidates to apply through through our platform called Workday para yung mga, how do I say this, yung mga take nilang virtual assessment or the application or the interview, doon nila makikita and they'll access it through that website. And masusure nila na safe yun. Kasi we already have a platform for it specifically for our applicants.
Nawalan ba ng audio si Sir Kyle?
Ay, hello, can you hear me?
Ayan, we can hear you now.
Yes,
Yeah.
ayan. I think that's the answer.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for answering that one. So another question, sir, is how about in Spirit po? Are you looking for specific qualifications or skills when hiring for remote jobs? Or do you offer
Oh,
remote jobs, sir? Yun ang unang tanong. Do
okay,
you
sige.
offer remote jobs?
Alright. Do Accenture offer remote work setup? Um, I
Mm-hmm.
I cannot confidently say that we offer remote work setup, no, kasi
Hmm.
I can only disclose my project kasi based on my project, we are working on a hybrid work setup. So
Mm-hmm.
meaning sometimes we have to report on site at least twice or thrice a month, no, para lang mag-get together, para ba meron kami mga touch point physically. Merong mga projects, I believe, that are working from home. Merong mga projects that are working on-site, ganyan. So I think ayun, sama ko na yung next question mo, no? What are the qualities that we are looking for
Mm-hmm.
candidates? I think top-notch talaga is yung flexibility in terms of schedule, in terms of working in different locations kasi Accenture has a lot of locations. So if you're very flexible and you have initiative as a person, and ayun nga, flexible and initiative and you take accountability of your actions, I think those are some of the things that we really consider sa candidates kasi yung mga technical skills, no, programming, ganyan, natututunan naman yan. Pero yung mga soft skills talaga, those are within the person. Pagka wala kang soft skills, I don't think it's easier for you to secure positions in different companies. I don't think it would be easy for you.
Mm-hmm. All right. So thank you so much, Sir Kyle, for answering also that question. So I think no more questions from the audience. Do you have final words po, Sir Kyle, to our graduating students?
Ayan, to our graduating students of Siquijor State College, congratulations. And I hope you guys will be able to find the most fit position for you. And hopefully you consider Accenture as one of those companies. We are more than welcome we are more than welcome to have you within our company and offer you the best opportunity in your career journey. Ayun lang.
All right. So thank you so much, Sir Kyle, for sharing your time and your expertise for our audience today. So we wish to have you on our next set of webinars. Maraming salamat, Sir Kyle. Have a great weekend
Ayan.
ahead.
You know, thank you, Joyce and EJ.
Thank you, Sir
Thank you,
Bye.
sir.
Kyle.
All
Yes.
right. So
Thank you,
again,
sir.
guys, to our audience, if you're interested to apply, or you may visit www.jobs180.com/Accenture. Yung nag-run po sa ilalim ng screen ninyo. So to our audience, thank you so much for staying. We hope you learned and enjoyed the session. So if you have questions, you may send us a message on our Facebook messenger or Facebook page, facebook.com/jobs180.com. So EJ?
Yes. And it seems that we are now approaching to the end of the program. May we invite the Director for Student Affairs and Services, Dr. Eric Mark E. Opaon, for the closing remarks.
Okay, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed speakers and participants, good morning. As we draw this insightful webinar to a close, I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to each and every one of you for joining us today. We hope you found this session valuable and that you've gained some insights into the job application process. In today's fast-paced, competitive job market, the importance of preparing thoroughly for job applications cannot be overstated. We've discussed a wide range of topics, from crafting an effective resume to and cover letter, to acing interviews and leveraging your network. I hope you now feel better equipped to tackle the job application process with confidence. Remember, my dear students, that securing your job, your dream job in the future, often involves a combination of skills and knowledge and persistence. Yeah. All I can say is be adaptable, stay positive, and keep learning from each experience, whether it leads to success or presents a learning opportunity. I also want to extend my heartfelt thanks to our guest speakers and panelists for sharing their expertise and experiences. Your insights have been invaluable, and we're grateful for your contributions to our institution. Before we conclude, here are the few takeaways from our speakers. First, uh, customize your applications. Tailor your resume and cover letter for each job application to highlight relevant skills and experiences. Second, relevant research and preparation. Thoroughly research the company and the role you're applying for. This knowledge will serve you well in interviews. Third is networking. Leverage your professional network. Personal connections can provide valuable referrals and insights. Fourth is continuous learning. Keep updating your skills and knowledge to stay competitive in your field. And fifth is persistence. The job search process can be challenging. Been there, done that. Don't give up. Persistence often leads to success. And the last one is feedback. Do not hesitate to seek feedback from your mentors, from peers, or professionals in your industry. Constructive criticism can help you improve. Once again, thank you for being a part of today's webinar. We wish you the very best in your job application endeavors in the future. Your future is full of responsibilities, and we believe you have what it takes to succeed. As you embark on your job application journey, remember that your path may be challenging, but with the right tools, knowledge, and determination, you can achieve your career goals. Best of luck, and may your job application be the stepping stone to a bright and fulfilling future. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.
Sir EJ?
Yan. Sir, thank you so much for that wonderful insights and for gracing us the uh, closing remarks. So we would also like to thank each and every one of you guys for staying all throughout the event. So we hope that you've learned a lot through this webinar and help you be prepared in the world of work. So special thanks to SSC, especially Miss Sid Sarmiento for collaborating with Jobs 180. Yeah.
All
Partner.
right, so thank you so much. So there you have it, guys. We are done with the talk proper and successfully tackled all the topics assigned for today's session. So please do not forget to evaluate this event. So the link is flashed on your screen and is also available at the comment section. So please kindly fill out the form. So this is only up until this afternoon. So this will serve as your attendance for today's session. So if ever you encounter any problem for regarding with your link or eval, so please ask Miss Seed, ayan, of SSC. So again, so kindly fill out or scan the QR that is being flashed on your screen to secure your attendance for today's session. Okay, so please keep an eye out for the upcoming webinars we'll be hosting. So please don't forget to check out our Facebook page for the topics that we will be covered, and please feel free to attend any of our upcoming webinars as well. So if ever you missed this session, so you may rewatch, you may go back to our Facebook page, YouTube page to view again or to watch this session. So the program is finally concluded. This is your host, Joyce Katakutan.
I'm EJ Kunanan.
We will see you soon and
We
have
will
a
see
great
you soon.
afternoon. Ingat everyone. Maraming salamat.
Intelligence is the foundation of any good business. But if every good business has it, how do you stand out? Intuition. When enabled by technology, intuition stops feeling like a hunch and starts looking like confidence. The confidence you get when you work with Cognizant, where we engineer every aspect of your business, technology, processes, and experiences to anticipate expectations and act instantly. This is intuition, and we can engineer it.
In this constantly changing world where businesses move at a rapid pace, Innodata solves the toughest challenges in any industry through human expertise and the power of technology. We are a community that thrives on a culture of collaboration, ideation, and innovation. And we want you to be part of our family. Your journey towards a meaningful and thriving career begins with us. Be part of the Inno community. We are Innodata.
In Makati Medical Center, your well-being does not stop. We promote a healthy normal by complying with 100% safety protocols in our facilities. With world-class service and operational excellence, we ensure that Makati Med meets the global healthcare standards of JCI. No matter the nature of your visit, your health is our priority. So you are always safe in Makati Med, the hospital with a heart.
Hi! Welcome to Manulife IT Delivery Centres Asia, or MIT-DC. This is also MIT-DC. This is a MIT-DC office. We'll get to meet each other either here or virtually. They are MIT-DC. And they're MIT-DC. They're MIT-DC. He's also MIT-DC. They like to pair program. You'll be working with them and with other people across Asia, Canada and North America as part of Manulife, a leading global financial services provider. Today, I'd like to introduce our high-performing team engagement framework. It is key to ensuring that MIT-DC is an enjoyable, rewarding and productive place to work. The framework is made up of 5 key elements. 1. A psychologically safe, accountable and productive environment, powered by Kaizen. 2. Management accountability, leaders listening and taking action on your feedback. 3. Shared values and a strategic understanding of our purpose in the company. 4. The employee needs hierarchy that ensures that you not only have what you need to do your work, but also recognition, a happy team dynamic, and individual growth. And finally, 5. Our engagement pulse check, or the Gallup survey, whose 36 questions ask, are our people leaders living up to their commitments? Let's go into each in a little more detail. A psychologically safe environment means that MIT-DC fosters an open workplace that encourages feedback. We express our ideas. We ask and give help. We act with integrity and learn from our mistakes. Kaizen is our methodology for this. Management accountability means that company leaders will listen, confirm, and action feedback at both an individual team and MIT-DC-wide level. Through Gallup, employee focus groups, town halls, retrospectives, and the daily performance dialogue. We're here to listen. We're here to act. It's important to have a strategic understanding of our purpose in the company. Our shared Manulife values were co-created with employees globally. Our values guide how we do our work. The employee needs hierarchy ensures that not only are basic needs met, but also individual recognition, a happy team dynamic, and personal growth opportunities. These are part of your needs that Manulife passionately works on with you every day. And lastly, we have the Engagement Pulse Check, or Gallup Poll, whose 36 questions are directly linked to our framework. And, as always, you can give us open feedback too. This allows us to improve and action at both an individual and collective team level. The format follows an agreement scale that goes from strongly agree to strongly disagree. The result is a measure of our engagement relative to other teams and the industry. So that's our high-performing team engagement framework in a nutshell. We're quite excited to hear from you. Until then, remember, we're getting better every day. Bye!